Everyone says vacations are about relaxing. For some people, vacation means 6 months of saving, waking up at 3:47 in the morning, and fitting 4 human beings into a car designed for 2 adults and 1 emotionally stable hamster. For others, vacation means arriving at the family villa and complaining that the ocean is a little loud. Same summer. Completely different planet, because your vacation doesn't just reveal where you like to travel. It reveals your budget, your priorities, your childhood trauma, and how comfortable you are pretending airport food is reasonably priced. So here is what vacation looks like at every social class. At the lowest budget level, you don't choose a destination. A relative chooses it for you. Your aunt has a caravan 40 minutes away, your cousin owns an inflatable pool, and suddenly everyone is calling this our little summer tradition. It is not a tradition. It is the only place where accommodation is free. The working class vacation begins with one sacred objective: find the biggest possible discount without ending up somewhere currently experiencing civil unrest. They will spend 3 months comparing campsites, all-inclusive resorts, and package holidays. Then they'll confidently announce, "We saved 18%, after spending another $600 on luggage, airport parking, and matching beach towels. The middle class approaches vacation like a military operation. There is a spreadsheet. There are color-coded tabs. One person wants culture, one wants a beach, the children want Wi-Fi, and dad wants free parking because apparently paying €12 to store the car would destroy the family financially. The upper middle class does not want a vacation. They want an experience. They refuse to visit anywhere described as touristy, so they travel to a small, authentic village recommended by the exact same lifestyle magazine as 80,000 other people. New money chooses the destination based on one question: will people understand that this was expensive? And old money doesn't choose a destination at all. They just say, "We're going to the house." Which house? Nobody asks. Apparently there are several. When money is tight, the booking process requires strategy. Flights are checked in private browsing mode. Prices are refreshed every 17 minutes. Someone claims Tuesday at 2:13 a.m. is scientifically the cheapest time to book, based on a Facebook post written by a man called Darren. The working class pays in installments. Not because the vacation is unaffordable, because paying for a holiday in February makes it feel free by August. The middle class reads every review, all 847 of them. Beautiful apartment, perfect location, 5 stars. Good. Water pressure, slightly disappointing. Cancel everything. The upper middle class books a boutique hotel with locally sourced soap, handmade furniture, and no television. They will describe the lack of basic amenities as part of the charm. New money books the room with the largest balcony because the balcony will appear in every photo. Old money has someone else handle the booking. Sometimes they don't even know which country they're visiting until the driver turns toward the airport. Low-budget packing is simple. 1 suitcase, 4 people, everyone gets 1 pair of shoes and must negotiate custody of the phone charger. Working class packing begins 3 weeks early and includes enough medicine to survive a tropical disease that does not exist in the destination country. The middle class brings practical outfits for every possible scenario: beach clothes, restaurant clothes, hiking clothes, emergency formal clothes in case the hotel unexpectedly hosts a royal wedding. The upper middle class buys an entirely new linen wardrobe to look effortlessly relaxed. Nothing says effortless like spending $900 preparing to look like you don't care. New money packs 17 outfits for a 4-day trip. Old money brings 1 small bag. Everything else is already at the house. Of course it is. At the affordable end of the spectrum, the vacation begins with a car ride. The trunk is full, the back seat is full. Someone has a cooler on their knees. And every 20 minutes, one child asks whether they are there yet, despite the navigation system clearly showing 7 hours and 43 minutes remaining. The working class arrives at the airport 4 hours early. Not because the airport asked them to, because missing a flight would emotionally destroy dad for the rest of his natural life. The middle class books the cheapest flight and then pays separately for a seat, a bag, a normal-sized bag, the privilege of sitting next to their own child, and oxygen during turbulence. The upper middle class enters the airport lounge and immediately takes a photo of a free croissant. New money flies business class and records the entire experience: the seat, the champagne, the menu, the bathroom. By the time the plane takes off, everybody online has experienced the flight except the person actually on it. Old money flies private but describes it as practical. Apparently, security lines are a human rights violation when your family owns a vineyard. At the lowest budget, accommodation means sleeping at a relative's house. You are told to make yourself comfortable on a sofa that becomes a medieval torture device at exactly 2 a.m. The working class loves an all-inclusive resort, not because the food is exceptional, because they paid for unlimited food and they intend to personally bankrupt the buffet. The middle class rents an Airbnb whose photos were apparently taken through the Hubble Space Telescope. Online, the living room looked enormous. In reality, opening the sofa blocks the front door. The upper middle class stays in a hidden eco-lodge where the shower is outdoors and the Wi-Fi is weak. This is described as disconnecting, mostly by people who ask for the Wi-Fi password within 6 minutes. New Money books the presidential suite and spends the first hour filming a room tour. Old Money stays in a 12-bedroom villa and calls it a little rustic. There is a chef, there is a housekeeper. There is a man whose entire job appears to be moving cushions away from the sun. Budget vacations involve picnics, sandwiches, chips, a cooler full of drinks purchased at home because beach prices are basically theft. The working class has already paid for the buffet, so every meal becomes a financial recovery mission. Breakfast is no longer food, it is revenge. The middle class checks restaurant reviews, compares menus, and calculates whether the children can survive without ordering dessert. The upper middle class books a local cooking experience taught by someone's grandmother. They will return home and explain that supermarket olive oil is now unacceptable. New Money chooses restaurants based on whether the table can fit a champagne bottle, sunglasses, and 3 phones. Old Money has a private chef prepare something incredibly expensive that everyone describes as very simple. Activities follow the same pattern. One family finds a free beach. Another books a water park. The middle class creates an itinerary so efficient that relaxing is no longer possible. Upper middle class parents take their children to a historical site and repeatedly whisper, "Try to appreciate this." New Money rents a boat. Old Money's friend owns the boat. Nobody knows what the friend does. Some families return with 12 blurry photos and one finger covering the camera. Working class families upload an album containing every meal, sunset, cocktail, and slightly different angle of the hotel pool. The middle class posts one carefully selected image with the caption, "Needed this," as though they recently returned from active military service. The upper middle class posts an empty street, a local coffee, and a doorway, no famous landmarks. They need everyone to understand that they traveled better than normal tourists. New Money posts constantly the airport, the plane, the room, the pool, the dinner, the watch beside the pool, the watch at dinner, the watch looking thoughtfully at the ocean. Old Money posts nothing. The people they want to impress were already invited. Eventually, every vacation ends. The low-budget family returns with leftover sandwiches and at least one argument that will be mentioned every summer for the next 15 years. The working-class family returns exhausted but satisfied because they really got their money's worth. The middle class opens the banking app and discovers that the carefully planned budget was apparently more of a suggestion. The upper middle class returns spiritually transformed after 9 days in a hotel with air conditioning and daily housekeeping. New Money begins editing a vacation recap before unpacking, and Old Money stays another month because nobody had told them summer was over. But no matter your social class, every vacation ends the same way. You come home more tired than when you left. You look at your bank account. You swear that next year you are staying home. And then someone sends you a cheap flight, and the entire disaster begins again.